Hello and welcome to the video. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I thought I'd consider continuing my famous painting series on Vermillion, where I attempt to sort of replica famous paintings in VR. So today's painting is going to be The Girl with the Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer. I hope I've pronounced that right. Now we need to start with sort of a black background, but I don't want my black background to be completely black. Might want that to be a bit darker. Mix it on the canvas. That's better. There we go. Now I'm just going to get a blend brush, make sure there's no streaks or anything. Okay, so we're good to go. So how do we want to start this? We want to give it sort of an outline, and what I'm going to use for an outline is I'm going to try and it's all using sort of brown tones except for the blue. I'm going to go for I'm going to try and make a skin colour. I'm going to use that as the base. So it sort of comes down along here, and you've got this face. I'm just making it crude for now, just rough sketch. This could go horribly wrong. And the face comes up about there. Needs to be a bit fatter. Let's do that. Up there. So we know roughly where the face is going to go, and then sort of your bandana or whatever that thing's called comes down like that. Yeah. And then the neck sort of comes down from here, goes up, and then she's got a collar which is going to be white, but it comes down about there, and then the rest of the body. So that's it's looking amazing already. So now I guess we want to just sort of map out where this bandana goes, and I think it goes down about there. So now we want to do the face base colour in here. I probably want to use a bigger brush. Let's just try and give this face some shape and some colour. That didn't work, but she needed a fatter face anyway. It's harder when you're painting in VR because you've got nothing to sort of lean against, and it's so you don't feel I'm going to use the word friction or resistance. You've got no resistance when you're painting, whereas normally when you're painting on a canvas or you're drawing on a notebook, you feel where you're going. You've got something to lean on, to rest on. In this, your arms sort of ache if you've been doing it a while, and it's hard to get straight lines. And I'm sort of going a bit rough and ready here. Because you're doing it in thin air, it is a little bit more difficult. So it's harder to get exact lines on here. And you can see my arms shaking like mad. But I do my best. If you've seen any of my other VR paintings, you'll know that they usually turn out okay towards the end. I'm not sure about this one. I've never attempted this painting before. Not even in like sketch format. Means this is the first time for everything. So we've got our base colour on there. We'll probably also want to add our colour in. Goes down about there. Again, I'm going to try and work on as few layers as possible, just so I can do some blending. There we go. There's sort of the colour. It kind of looks like that. I'm trying to do this painting justice, but also within a time frame. We need this sort of burnt orange, I think that looks like. See if we can mix this properly. That's kind of looking like it. Then that goes here. Again, I'm shaking like mad here. You can turn on stabilization look, which does help a little bit by pressing the B button, but it doesn't perform miracles, and sometimes it actually hinders you and forces your hand in places that you wouldn't normally want to put it. On the painting, I mean. I'm going to use a little bit of a bigger brush just for some filling out areas. I think I've done a bandana too low, but this is a VR interpretation of the painting, so I don't expect it to be perfect anyway. Vermillion itself is an oil painting simulator, well, that's how I tend to describe it. So painting these paintings does tend to bear some pretty decent results because it sort of matches the style. Now the beauty about Vermillion is you don't have to worry too much about running out of paint because you have an infinite amount, and you can also save your paintings and undo mistakes, which you can't necessarily do as easily in real life. So there are benefits. I often get asked, why don't you just paint in real life? And I do, sometimes. But I have a full-time job. I have my content creation, which I'm doing right now. Me and my partner have 4 kids between us, and so we're very busy. And so I do encourage the kids to paint, and I do paint with them. But it's not always possible to get a painting area set up, and then of course it comes with cleaning and stuff. And so I enjoy doing this. I enjoy this medium of VR painting. Don't hate me for that. It's interesting. Painting has to evolve, and I like to think that this is one of the ways it's evolving, is through different mediums. One of which being VR. I'm sure when people started painting on glass and painting on, blocks of wood, they were met with the same criticism as people, doing it digitally or doing it through virtual reality. All mediums of art are art, in my opinion. Art comes in many different ways and forms. All require equal measures of practice. You can see this is sort of taking shape now. You can sort of see what it's supposed to look like. We're still not there by a long shot, but getting these colours blocked in is certainly helping. And I know I'm mixing colours here and there on the canvas. I'm doing this to show you that it can be done, kind of, we'll see in the end, and also just for fun and for some content. There you go, there's the sort of bandana thing. Now we need, I guess, a little bit of yellow in here. We want this, is that the right colour? Maybe a little bit more white. Because we want this to be fun and educational. I'm going to put that there so I know where it is. We also want something nice to look at the end of it. And as you can see, I'm going over my lines that I originally put in as my sort of sketch lines. Probably going to need to add some more colour to this because it's reacted to the blue. There we go. I'm still going to use the same colour, but I'm probably going to change up brush a little bit just so I can get some better strokes going on. There we are. Fan brush to the rescue. Absolutely love this brush. It works in Vermillion. I like using this brush to blend, but also to cover large areas. It works wonders. I absolutely love it. It doesn't matter if things mix here and there. It adds to the effect, I find. You don't want solid colours. You don't want it to look like a cartoon. We want this painting to match as closely as we can to the reference image. But at the same time, it's an interpretation. You have artistic freedom to change things up where you wish. The beauty of interpretation. That's the beauty of doing what we're doing. This is art, and this is also having fun. There we go. So you can immediately sort of see that it is an interpretation of this. Obviously we've got to put some darks in, we've got to put the face in, the earring, which is most important of all. So you can sort of see it's coming in. Obviously we need to put the detail in and sort of clean up areas on the face. But right now I'm going to put some shadows in on the face and the neck, so you can see where the face is going. You obviously have some shadow underneath there. The neck shadow you want to sort of blend in the rest of the neck. This is why it's important. If you work on one layer, you can do amazing things with the blend. You might need to go over it with another dark one, but we've got a sort of temple lines coming down here, and then that goes back down here, covers off a bit of her cheek. We're just blocking in some shadows. Again, we've got some with the nose coming off the eye. Go down. Make sure we blend that in. It's nice and it's a light shadow, it's not a dark one. And once we've got the shape put in, we'll do some more blending and it'll slowly start to take shape. But right now it's important to just block in some of these shadows, give the face shape. I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I'm not formally trained or anything. I just like to have fun. Again, probably a little bit darker around here. Blend that in. And then we've got some lighter areas. And this is where it sort of becomes a little bit more difficult, trying to find the right light shade to go under. We do have some darkness under the eye, And again, over here, you need to get the eye proportions right. Normally you would sketch your sort of face template in there, and I've not done that, and I realise I've not done that. But like I said, this is going to be rough and quick. She looks like she's asleep. But I'm putting all my shadows in right now because I'm going to work dark to light on this. Shadows in here, just where the darker parts are going to go, and it's much darker on this side of the screen and this side of the paint than it is anywhere else. And then I'm just going to get my fan brush and sort of blend those together. Careful not to go into the hair too much or anything. Right, so that's the dark areas of that. Now we probably want to add some dark areas to the jacket. So to do that, I'm going to use this really dark brown that I'm mixing with black, and then we're going to use this, sort of just put some overtones on. I'm going to probably use the fan brush because it might add a bit of texture to it as well. Just trying to match as close as I can the texture, so almost from here down, it's like a pitch black. Oh, didn't clean my brush properly. It's almost like a completely dark, the jacket, and it blends in almost with the in fact, if I just go ahead with some black, just try and get some base on here, blend that in as best we can. That's better. I know it looks like I'm making a mess right now, but I'll clean it up. Let's get our blendy brush, just do some quick blending on here. Okay. And then we'll fix that with some more lighter areas as well. So speaking of which, let's try and get some lighter tones going on. So I think for this one, I'm going to add like this orange colour on. I am going to need to clean this palette at some point. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use orange. And it might sort of blend in and do the magic mixing for us. Seems to be working okay. You can see that that's sort of a lighter patch. Now this obviously isn't the way that they'd have done it way back when the original painting was painted. It's all about learning and improvising and creating the desired effects. And I think this is working slightly. Need to do the dark areas in the bandana. I keep calling that a bandana. What is that? Tell me. I don't know what that is. It's whatever the girl with the pearl earring is wearing. My hands are shaking like mad. This is like, it's almost tied up. Don't want to add too much darkness to it. And it sort of goes up like that. And then it's like tied. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I just need to create the illusion that it's there. So then that, like I said, that goes up there, but then you've got like these lines coming down, and that sort of comes up like that. It's the same thing around here, and then just allow it to go up and mix. And then I'll use our trusty fan brush and we'll do a bit of blending, just so those lines aren't as harsh. And then we'll add in our lights shortly, as well as the details on the face. I'm kind of happy with that. It's looking okay. Oh, we do need to add some blue onto that, so let's get a bit of light blue. Just put those bottom edges on a little bit more. It sort of comes down from there and goes on there. Blend that in so it's not too light. It's looking like it. It's getting there. I mean, if I showed that to someone, they would probably know where I was getting at. They would probably know where I was aiming for. Now I realise I haven't painted the ear. So let's fix that. So I want to steal a bit of this paint with the darker area and here, so this sort of comes up like that. And then the ear goes along like that. There we go. We've kind of saved it. You can sort of see there's an ear there now. Yeah, we've got an ear. Okay, probably needs a little bit more of a darkness in there to show that it's an ear. Blend that across. There we go. Look at that. Nice simple ear. Now let's go and add our lights in. This is where the fun begins. So we want this skin tone, but with a little bit more lightness to it. But we don't want it to appear white or grey, although she is fairly pale on that end. A little bit more white. Let's try this. Let's see how this works out. Now there's a lot more white to her face than there is to darks. I want to blend this in as well. And this is where we want to start taking a little bit more care, because these are sort of your finer details. He says he's just blotching paint onto the canvas. But I will blend if I need to, and it'll look good. Trust me. I won't stop and I won't post until I'm happy with it. Or happy enough. Bit of light going on. Same on the neck. Look at that. Once you start blending it in, it makes a lot more sense of where the light's coming from, and where the shadows are, the eyes and things. So there we go. There's the lights on the skin. For the lights on the collar, we just want to use a brighter white than we used earlier. Reinforce that. Light on the bandana, I'm going to use sort of a yellow with a white, and we just want to sort of patch these in, these little light areas here and there. Fan brush once again, not too much because we don't want to muddy all of our colours, but we carefully placed in. We don't want any of these highlights to be too harsh. There we go. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there, folks. Now we need a lighter blue, which to do we just mix blue and white, and then we want to pull these highlights in on the bandana. Just to show a bit of the shape. Mix where you have to. Okay, I think we're ready for the lips and the eyes. So to do the eyes, we're just going to add some eyeball shapes to our canvas. This is where I'm probably going to mess up, because I didn't sort of account for where eyes and things were going to be. Also, she's got some nice rosy lips, and they're sort of down here, side profile. And they're a bit darker than that, so I'm going to mix some brown in there. She looks like a clown right now. There we go, that's much better. And we'll do the same with this one. So the eyeball needs to cover the whole eye. Well, the iris needs to cover the whole eye. And then I'm going to sort of do the same thing here and reinvent her eyelids. It's like plastic surgery for a painting. There we go. Little light reflections going on here. There we go. Right. So the eyes still aren't perfect. I think they're far too big. I may have to fix them in post. And then we want to fix these lips, said the surgeon. I think they're far too red. Although they are red. I just don't like them being bright red, where it looks like someone's drawn them on. Now I know they have, and I know it was me, But still, right, so I didn't like the mouth that I'd put on. Also fixed the face and eyes a little bit. It's about there actually. I think I'm doing it in the wrong place. I think that might be why. She looks like she's pouting. Let's get the colour on first. It's a lot more of a fleshy tone what I've done here. It does look like a pout. I like it. There we go. So now the most important thing is the pearl earring. Put a little bit of shading in there. There you go. Get with the pearl earring. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.